So just to sum up what we've been looking at here in James 14 through 26, or 2:14 through 26, we've only looked at 14 through 17, but there's a lot packed in here. And the reason why this is so important to understand what he's saying right from the outset is because properly understanding what James is talking about and what he's not talking about will help us avoid some of these pitfalls that you can fall into when interpreting the rest of the verses. So, what is he talking about? Can faith alone save? No, you have to have works. Okay, well, that's very problematic because, as we've already said in previous videos, Paul makes it explicitly clear over and over and over again, we are saved by faith alone apart from works. So what is James talking about? Is he talking about salvation like Paul's talking about? Justification, declared righteous, being born again, all that kind of stuff? No. How do we know what James is talking about? Because remember, sozo, save, can mean different things. If I say go outside and check in the trunk, context probably would tell you I'm talking about the trunk of the car, not the trunk of a tree or the trunk of an elephant. So what is the context? Is James talking at all about salvation from hell? No, he immediately launches into an example of what he means. He says if you know somebody who needs clothing, if they're cold and they need food, faith alone, just saying, hey, you know what? God's going to take care of you. Be warmed and well fed. Bless you, brother. Whatever. You know, God's loving. He cares about you. All those kinds of things. James is not even calling into question whether you legitimately believe that God is loving and will care for that person. He's not saying that if you really believe that, you would give them a coat, you would give them food. It's nothing like that. That's not at all what he's calling into question. What he's saying is your faith alone is useless to that person. Talk is cheap. You've got to actually put some action to that and physically help them. So this is all he's talking about in this entire section is it useful? Is it profitable for you and other people if you just have faith but don't put that faith into practice? No, it isn't useful. He says in verse 14, what use is it, my brethren, if you have faith and no works? It can't save. It's not useful at all. If you say be warmed and well fed, yet you don't give them what they need, what use is that? What is the profit of that? And even so, faith, if it doesn't have works, is dead. It's useless being by itself. It doesn't do anything. That has nothing to do with justification. You are justified by faith apart from works of the law. What he's talking about is how profitable is it to other people and their physical needs and maybe even their spiritual needs. If you just pray for somebody and never share the gospel with them, well, that doesn't do them any good. So put some actions to your faith and be useful as a Christian.